Welcome to the Stephen Shiels radio show. I've got Valeria Casanova from Insight Timer. How are you, Valerie?
Good, and you, Stephen?
Yeah, good. How long you been on Insight Timer for as a meditation teacher?
I think I've been there around 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed your live stream that you did. So are you a mindfulness teacher?
I am a mindfulness coach, and I'm also an energy healer.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been involved in meditation for, and what's been your journey?
Well, I've been around for about 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
3 years now, and well, my journey has had a lot of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it all started 3 years ago before I got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got divorced because I figured that, or I thought that, or I finally noticed that I hadn't found myself or who I wanted to be or why I came into this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I started looking all the spiritual paths, and I finally found my life purpose.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. You know, I practice the law of attraction meditation too. I've been involved in that and doing my affirmations. And I'm finding things are going very well for myself as well. Have you practiced the law of attraction?
I always do it.
Mm-hmm.
I always do it. I practice it. I think everybody can practice it however they feel like it, however they vibe to it. But for example, every time I look at the time and it has a repeated number, like a repeated sequence, like 111, 222, 323, I always visualize what I want. And that's how I attract what I want.
There's a number called 1111 that I've been hearing about a lot lately. I don't really understand 1111. Is that something you interested in?
Well, it has a lot of meanings. It actually depends on what the person believes in. I also work with angels, with the archangels, and it means it's like a message like, oh, we are here with you, or some people say it's like make a wish. But yeah, every time I see it, I get super excited. Especially today. It's actually very funny because today, well, not for you, but for me it is. it's April 11th. So that's why today when I saw 111 and it's April 11th, it was like an amazing portal for me.
Yeah, it was April 11th for me yesterday because right now it's Monday in Australia. And yeah, my internet was playing up all day yesterday when I wanted to watch the live streams on Insight Timer. And that sucked, having internet problems lately, you know. No, but I like what you're doing on Insight Timer as well, and the live streams too. Are you planning to do any more shows?
I actually am. I kind of want to do it once a week, if I can. I actually 2 days ago or 3 days ago for you, it was actually my first live stream on Insight Timer. I've enjoyed it a lot. I was very nervous at first, but once I just let the energy flow and the meditation guide me and everything, it was very, very, very rewarding and gratifying.
Yeah, they're an app that they've come a long way too. You know, I really like what they've done. Probably one of the best meditation apps you can have on the App Store, you know, because you've got a few competitors like Headspace, Calm, but, you know, at least the Insight Timer with a free membership, they let people meditate with it, but then they got the Members Plus as well where you can access the courses, which is good. You can still watch the live streams as a free member. And donate to your teachers too.
That's why I like it. I like it because it gives everybody an opportunity to meditate, and there are very, very nice meditations and also yoga. There's everything. Everything is on Insight Timer.
And you've got the Archangel Raphael, Michael as well, who are good spiritual healers. I had a teacher from Insight Timer, Jason Stevenson, as well. He's done some work with the Archangel Raphael. And I've got a group on my Insight Timer, the Law of Attraction Circle, so probably every morning play some Law of Attraction teachers too, which is pretty cool. And that's what's cool, they've got a group now you can create on the app as well.
I haven't done so, but I will. I think this is the universe giving me a sign, like it's time for you to create your meditation group.
So before coming on Insight Timer, did you meditate on any other apps, or what's been your story?
Well, no, I actually just have my Instagram account, which you can follow me at Valeria Casanova V. And I've also have my Spotify and my Apple Podcasts. So I also have my meditations on there too. But I haven't really done it on another platform, like Insight Timer, no.
Wow, that's cool. Getting all your work across multiple platforms. That's the way to go. You know?
I like it. And I feel like it might be very cliche, but I feel that everybody gives me signs. Like, oh, maybe you should do this. And I do it. Like, I just listen. Like, my best friend, she's the one that told me, oh, why don't you have your own podcast? And I was like, no, but what am I going to say? She's like, I don't know, just do it. And I did, and I started with my guided meditations. And if you hear the first one, it's a total failure. But if you hear the other ones, they start getting a lot better. So yeah, I just the signs. They come, and it depends on us, like if we actually listen.
Yeah, it's always good to listen to the inner voice telling you to do something that's going to manifest in the future as well. And have you read any books called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne?
Of course. Of course, I've read them. It's actually your topic, the law of attraction.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's short, simple, to the point, easy to understand as well. And that's what I liked about The Secret.
Yeah, I liked it too. And I feel that, well, I've seen that a lot of people, or everybody that comes to coaching sessions with me, I feel like they believe, but they believe for a second. Like right after they read the book, they believe. But then they stop believing. And what I try to tell them is like, okay, so every time we want something, we have to actually stick to it, and we have to be consistent. And if we don't see it right away, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. But just look back at all your negative thoughts and how long you have been in this law of attraction session or manifesting what you want. And they're like, yeah, I have said a lot of negative things for a very long time, and I've just done this manifestation or all these positive thoughts for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have to do it, build it consistently, and it's a daily practice, I think, as well. When I first started this 2 years ago, I felt it was a very hard mindset shift for me. Because I think Rhonda Byrne was supporting to be an entrepreneur rather than an employee mindset. That took a while to get out of my head, but slowly, things are improving. And that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. And gratitude. I am a huge fan of gratitude. So whatever happens, whatever little step is like, hey, thank you. And I think that's a very important thing with the law of attraction.
Yeah, and it's also being grateful for what you have as well. That's what I think too.
Yeah, any little thing. Well, that's the first thing I do right when I wake up is that I give thanks for my pillow, for my bed, for any little thing that I have the roof over my head. Because those are the little things that we take for granted. But if we don't have them, they become a big thing.
Yeah, it's just being grateful that have a roof over my head, food on the table as well. That's the main things.
Exactly, and those little things we take for granted.
And you're a spiritual healer, are you?
I am. I've studied Reiki, so I'm a Reiki instructor, pranic healer. I'm also an Akashic Records reader. And basically what I have seen or what I've noticed, like when I started doing therapies, I started noticing that they were like, well, you get like these little messages and they're like, no, you don't have to do this, do this. So that's why I just started going with the flow and going with the session. And not everybody needs the same things. So that's why I changed it to energy healer, because I mix up everything and it just depends on the signs that I get.
Wow, that's amazing doing that. Good energy is the way to go, I guess.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever done an energy healing?
No, I've always wanted to know, what is that?
Well, you have to do it with me. It's a very nice session or therapy session, and since it's long distance, what I do, energy flows everywhere, so it doesn't matter if you're far away, if you're next to me, I'm still going to get the same messages. So I have this little board, and on this board, I imagine you there, and I just put on the crystals that match each chakra. So I align your chakras. I get to see why they are broken. I don't know if you know what chakras are.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay, so align them. As you know, if you have a chakra that's broken, then you won't get that job opportunity, or you won't attract what you want. So what I do is I align them, I find out why they were broken, and I give you some messages that the universe gives me. And you feel as if you are a new person.
Cool. Are you planning to do any of that on the live streams on Insight Timer? Or is that one-to-one?
I like to do it one-on-one.
Yep.
Because I get different messages for you. So if I start doing it, it'll be like, okay, tell him that he has to start healing this part, or tell him that. So I like to do it one-on-one.
Cool.
But I do have energy healing, like normal energy healing on Insight Timer. Like I have one about chakras and things like that.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of chakra work on Insight Timer. You got teachers, Glenn Harold is one. Then you got Dr. Joe Dispenza. I think he's done some work on that. Jason Stevenson too. Sonic Yogi. Yeah, it's an interesting spiritual thing. I think it's 7 chakras you have.
7 main chakras, but we have a lot more. But these are the principal ones and the ones that everybody knows, and like those are the ones that I work with too.
And do you practice chakra meditation frequently?
I do. I practice almost everything. Like whatever you tell me that I have to do, I do it. Or whatever I feel like I have to do, I do it.
Yeah, I sort of feel better like after when I do practice chakra meditation. Just feel a bit better.
Of course, I feel that we are all able to heal ourselves if we actually believe it. We don't need you don't need me to help you heal your chakras no. But I think that we can all do it if we actually believe and we actually manifest and believe in ourselves, because that's something that we usually lack.
And before you became a meditation teacher, what was your career before your journey?
I have a master's in education. So I used to train teachers on methodologies, strategies, how to teach. And actually, when I found out about mindfulness, I was very, very strong with mindfulness in education. And that's actually something that I love too. I love to promote mindfulness in education wherever I go, or when I see a kid, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's do a mindfulness activity. But yes, that's what I used to do.
Wow. So cool. Yeah, I think it's better to be a meditation teacher, I think, in my opinion, than working in the corporate world. That's how I feel.
Why? What do you...
Well, being a meditation teacher, how many people you can help as well. And if you feel more happier doing that, and if you're making more money, go for it. Rather than working for an hourly paycheck and then trading 8 hours of your day to go to work, do something that you love. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I think it was Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He quoted that if you can build an online business and work at 4 hours a day and make that more money doing that, then do it. You know, why should you work 12-hour a day, 16, and then be sick, tired? So why not build an online business, especially now?
Yeah, but that's kind of like something that our parents or the society has told us, that we have to get a job, that we have to work those 6-7 days a week in order to be successful. So a lot of people have to change that ship and change that mindset.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out because, you know, I had no intentions to be an entrepreneur when I finished my degree. I wanted to go and be an employee and work 9 to 5. But maybe the universe said, Stephen, you're not meant to be an employee, you have to be an entrepreneur, giving me all these little signs. So last year in the pandemic, I just thought, okay, look, I'll go and do it. That's it.
And how is it?
It's very interesting. It's fun. It's fun to do. What about for yourself? What's been your journey?
Well, I've had a very long journey, and I feel like it hasn't ended yet. But yeah, I graduated from the university, and right when I got my master's degree, I got into a huge crisis. And I was like, no, what am I doing with my life? I don't like this. I don't like to train teachers. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And I was working at an editorial, and my boss said, oh, we're going to launch a book about mindfulness. And I was like, oh, but what's mindfulness? And she was like, well, it's I don't really know, but it's about being aware of the present moment. She really didn't know how to explain it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started researching. I started about it. I started Googling. I started everything. I got certified, and she was shocked that I had done all of that because of our conversation. And I started doing that, and then after that, I started applying mindfulness in education, helping teachers on how to be mindful, helping teachers to help students or on how to be mindful. And then I got involved with the energy healing. I took a Reiki course. I loved it. I took a pranic healing course. I loved it. And then I started reading Akashic Records, and I started seeing that there's a little bit more beyond than what we can see. And I really try to apply or to mix spiritual mindfulness.
Wow.
And yeah, that's my journey. Well, long story short, it didn't take 2 weeks.
Yeah, nothing happens overnight, I guess. But yeah, that's so cool that you've done that as well. And yeah, amazing. And what else are you working on? You got any projects coming up in the future?
I am about to launch a mindfulness journal.
Cool.
That's the next project right now. I think that it's gonna happen maybe in 2 to 3 weeks. That that's my next project.
Amazing. Look, Valeria, thanks for coming on the show today. Have you got any social media or website where people can find you?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Really, thank you so much for reaching out. Yes, well, I have my YouTube account, which you can find me under Valeria Casanova, Be Mindfulness. My Instagram at Valeria Casanova V. It's a bilingual page. And my Spotify. My Spotify account, my Apple Podcast, which is also Valeria Casanova, and Be Mindfulness.
Awesome.
And my website, valeriacasanova.com.
Sweet. People, go and visit Valeria Casanova and get good work quality content there. Look, thanks for coming on today.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Really, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Look, thank you to the sponsors, Grammarly Premium, vidIQ, TubeBuddy, and Amazon Music Unlimited. Also, if you'd like, you can send a donation to my GoFundMe page to help support the podcast. Guys, podcasts are out every Fridays. Subscribe to it. Turn on your notifications wherever you get your podcasts. Share the podcasts on your social medias. Cheers.